opportunity to be in the association of all the wonderful devotees who are present on this call. Please accept my humble obeisances, Subala Gopal Prabhuji, Vaswati Mataji, Namananda Chaitanya Prabhuji, Taruni Lalita Mataji, Ramay Pran Prabhuji, Karina Mataji, and Mohini Madhavi Devi Mataji. Today is a very auspicious day of appearance day of Vakreshwar Pandit, who is a great associate of Lord Gauranga. He's known for his singing and dancing of Kirtan in Vasangan with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's sing a bhajan to worship all the wonderful Vaishnavas with this bhajan by Bhakti Vinod Thakur from his book Sharanagati, and it's in Bengali. O he Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Hidase Karuna Kori. O he Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Hidase Karuna Kori. Diya pada chaya sodohe amaya tomara charana dhori. Diya pada chaya sodohe amaya tomara charana dhori. O he Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori. Chaya Bega Domi Chaya Dasa Chaya Bega Domi Chaya Dasa Sodi Chaya Guna Deho Dase. Chaya Sat Sanga Deho He Amare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances.
Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We were not able to hear you for a couple of minutes, 1 minute. Now we can hear you, Prabhuji.
Oh, some issues with my connection then. I'm sorry. Oh,
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can now hear you.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna se tomara Krishna dite.
Hare Krishna, I'm sure Prabhu.
think Prabhuji's audio is his internet is not stable, Prabhuji.
I think he has some issue. Can I begin the session? He can do the bhajan later.
Yeah, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, text number 39. Yeshate vihita sankhye buddhi yogatvam imam shrinu buddhya yukto yapartha karma bhandam prahasyasi. Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explained it in terms of working without future results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Purport. According to Nirukti or the Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes things in detail. And Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul. The yoga involves controlling the senses. Arjuna's proposal not to fight was based on sense gratification. Forgetting his prime duty, he wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsmen, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering his cousins and brothers, the sons of Dhritarashtra. In both ways, forgetting his prime duty, wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsmen, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering. In both the ways, basic principles were for sense gratification. Happiness derived from conquering them and happiness derived by seeing kinsmen alive are both on the basis of personal sense gratification. Even at a sacrifice of wisdom and duty, Krishna therefore wanted to explain to Arjuna that by killing the body of his grandfather, he would not be killing the soul proper. And he explained that all individual persons, including the Lord himself, are eternal individuals. There were individuals in the past, there are individuals in the present, there will be individuals in the future. We simply change our bodily dress in different manners, but actually we keep our individuality even after liberation from the bondage of material dress. An analytical study of the soul and the body has been very graphically explained by the Lord Krishna. And this descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body from different angles of vision be described here as Sankhya. The Sankhya has nothing to do with the Sankhya philosophy of the atheist Kapila. Long before the impostor Kapila's Sankhya, the Sankhya philosophy was expounded in Srimad Bhagavatam by true Kapila, the incarnation of the Lord Krishna, who explained to his mother Devahuti. It is clearly explained by him that the Purusha or the personality, the Supreme Lord, is active and that he creates by looking over the Prakriti. This is accepted in the Vedas and in the Gita. The description of the Vedas indicate that the Lord glanced over the Prakriti or the nature and impregnated it with atomic individual souls. All these individuals are working in the material world for sense gratification. And under the spell of material energy, they are thinking of being enjoyers. This mentality is dragged to the last point of liberation when the living entity wants to become one with the Lord. This is the last snare of Maya, or sense gratification. And it is only after many, many births of such sense gratification activities a great soul surrenders unto Vasudeva, thereby fulfilling the search after the ultimate truth. I'll stop here because it's a larger purport. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Sampadanti Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam tungam vangayate girim. Yatkripatam bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So, एसते विहिता संख्य बुद्धिर योग्य तो इमं शृणु बुद्धयुक्तो यया पार्थ कर्म बंधम प्रहास्यसि. Krishna is telling Arjuna, when we begin acting in knowledge, we can free ourselves from the bondage of work. Actually, yesterday I was summarizing an aspect of how karma bandhana would work. There is individual karma and group karma. What is this group karma? Part of people have to suffer. For example, a person is going in the flight, plane crashed. It's a group karma. It means all of them, they have to go through that. People dying in COVID, affected through other persons, so group karma. That means, what is this happening here? Chain of karmic reactions are working on a particular person. The person might opt out, might think that he is opting out. The person might think that this is working in this way. The person might think that that is working in this way. But no matter what we do, things will not work out. If things have to work out, it will work out. If it is not been there for us, it will not come. For example, you work very hard for a particular job interview. You think that you will be cracking that. But somehow at the end, the final interview, even if you did great, some other person will take that job. Because that means it is not there in us, for us. Then how do we know that which is there for us, which is not there for us? Do we have to wait on it? Do we have to practice on it? What do I do? No, certain things are there, certain things are not there. Then how do we understand? No, we cannot discriminate that. We should do our duty. We cannot say that, oh, this might not work. We cannot speculate. This world is full of speculation. In 1980s, there's two persons called Hunter brothers. I don't know whether you know them or not. What are they? Hunter brothers. What they did? Somehow they have some money, definitely. They are rich persons. They wanted to elevate the prices of the metal, silver. So what they did, just within a span of six months, the price of silver in 1980 rose from $8 to, I think, something like $45 or so, just within a short span of time. That means all of a sudden this silver became very expensive in 1980. Just only for a span of 6 months or so. What were these brothers doing? They were continuously buying every day. To buy that, they don't have to. Those days, they don't. Not even now. They don't have to invest full 100% in that. They just invest 10%. Remaining 90% it is being taken by the brokers. But what happens? This is a karmic reaction, right? What they did, that is a reaction which they have caused through greed. A karmic reaction will work, right? So they increase, raise. All of a sudden they have to. They were getting margin calls. They were asking, can you show more? Can you give more money to buy more silver? Because all of a sudden, US was under shell shock. It was in 1980, and there was a problem. So what happened? Karmic reaction. That means the person has to be affected. He has to go through that. Then he has to pay bank. He has to file bankruptcy. He has to go to the jail. Because what is he doing? He wanted to get free money. Is that possible? Free money is possible in this world? No. Anything which is on short term, will that give us gain? No. That is the whole point why gambling is avoided. One of the four avoided principles. Because what is that is what? That is yielding what? Sinful reaction, karmic reactions will come. Because people wanted short, within very short period of time, they want more money. It cannot be done. So here Arjuna, what is he doing is Arjuna doesn't want to fight because he doesn't want to kill his family members. For that, what is he doing? He is avoiding his dharma. Likewise, sometimes devotees they say this, Prabhu, I don't want to work because what is this work? I don't like. What is Krishna consciousness means? One shouldn't work, right? One should chant Hare Krishna, drink milk, sleep, do some Shravana and Kirtana, no service. That is what it is, right? I don't want to work as a software. But you want money? You want money. But you don't want to work. What is that? That means you are trying to avoid the prescriptivity, but you are expecting something out of it. Can that be done? No, it cannot be done. You want money, but you don't want to work. Is that good? That is not good. A lot of people will say this, they say that, oh, Krishna consciousness, this is Krishna consciousness. No, this is not Krishna consciousness. Because what are we doing? We are not working, we are not doing our prescribed duty, but on the other side, we want to chant Hare Krishna. That will not work. Because what is happening, just like Arjuna, he doesn't want to fight because due to family members' problem. Because he doesn't want to kill. Not that he's giving up everything. No, he's not like giving up the kingdom. But rather, what is he doing? He doesn't want kingdom. But on the other side, what is he doing? He's giving up his prescribed duty. Giving up of one's prescribed duty is a sense gratification. We should do our prescribed duty. So, what is doing prescribed duty? Prescribed duty means everything has to be connected to the Lord. Without connection to the Lord, there is no prescribed duty, dear devotees. Dharma swanusthita pumsam vikshakshena katasvaya. That means when we are doing a duty, it has to be done for the pleasure of Govinda. If that duty is not done for the pleasure of Govinda, it is not yielding anything. That is the whole point. Lot of devotees they complain, oh Prabhu, I'm not getting taste in chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I'm not happy while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why? Because they never chanted for the pleasure of the Lord. They never chanted for the pleasure of the acharyas. They are never grateful for what they have received. Why? Because if we are really doing our duty, then we will actually do it for the pleasure of Krishna. What is that? What is the real duty? To please that person. To please whom? To please Krishna. So that pleasing of Krishna has to be done very thoroughly in one's life. Otherwise, it will not help. Why it will not help is because you're doing an action for your own benefit. Anything which is done for our own benefit will not give satisfaction. Janmadasya yatonvayaditaratashcharteshu abhignaswarat. What is the abhignaswarat? Krishna is abhignaswarat. Krishna is the whole proprietor of everything. Teni Brahma Hrudayadi Kavaye Muyanti Yat Surya. That means even personalities like Lord Brahma Ji can be kept into illusion by the internal energy of the Lord. See how powerful by the energy of the Lord. By the external energy, internal energy, marginal energy, every jiva is kept under check. Now, through external energy, all the jivas in this world, they are bewildered. Through internal energy in the spiritual world, the devotees don't know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is on the transcendental level. But they feel that they have a deep connection with him. That means they cannot live without him. They cannot stay without him. Dear devotees, how different this is, right? This material world. Just think about this. On the spiritual world, devotees don't want to leave the association of the Lord and his devotees. They don't want to spend a moment without discussing about the Lord. They don't want to do anything in this, in their tenure, in their presence in the spiritual world. They don't want to do anything else other than to please the Lord. Now, how contrasting here it is. All of a sudden, the Jiva comes here to this material world and he forgets everything. Wow. And in that particular material world, spiritual master, acharyas, they come and then they reinstate the consciousness. How wonderful this is. That means on one side, the Jiva is so much bewildered, but on the other side, these exalted Vaishnava acharyas, they come into our life and then they say, they tap our consciousness and then say, what are you doing? Baba, where are you? Where are you heading? Where is your consciousness? They tap and they say, no, what you are doing is incorrect. Up until this point of time, this soul is completely lost. And now all of a sudden, this Jiva is hearing about the Lord, about the greatness of Him. Janmadasya tonmayad itarasascharteshu abhignaswarat. First sloka in Bhagavata. Abhignaswarat, who is all powerful, all attractive, all merciful, that personality, through his energy, is bewildering us. Tene Brahma Hrudayadi Kavaye Muyanti Yat Surayat. That means any person can be bewildered in this world. Not any person, every person is bewildered. Only by the causeless mercy of the acharyas, they will show the greatness of the Lord. And then they say, where are you, Baba? Where are you heading? Where are you going? You see this Radha Vrindavan Chandra. See Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. See how merciful He is. Take their darshan, take their association. Surrender your life to them. They tap us and then they tell this. Otherwise, this Jiva is completely lost here. Please understand this, dear devotees. It's very important because a Jiva which has fallen from the spiritual sky, from the spiritual realm, when he falls into this material plane, the Maya captures him. All of a sudden, when at a moment he was so much absorbed or connected with the Lord, now all of a sudden, as he is trapped in this material plane, he is completely lost. He is an illusionist. Tene Brahma Hrudayadi Kavaya. See how powerful the illusion is. This is a dream state. In this dream state, we are thinking that this money is mine, this wife is mine, she belongs to me, this son is mine, she is my daughter. Let me embrace him, let me embrace her. Better be careful. That might be your enemy. He is your enemy from your previous life. Bhagavatam says that it's very powerful. So we should be very careful in this one. We cannot be attached to anything else other than Guru, Sadhu, Shastra and the Supreme Personality of God. If you are attached to that, then you see the real attachment of this world, which is pale, pathetic. It's talking to a devotee that how attachment in this world is actually binding us. We see that, oh, only this attachment, right? I will do that attachment and then practice Krishna consciousness. Oh, no. How you will practice Krishna consciousness? Because you have attachment. You cannot understand what Krishna consciousness is because you are completely in a bewildered state. You have to leave that attachment to understand Krishna consciousness. Just like I discussed 3 days back, right, about this. Very important. What was that? Sanatana Goswami did not reveal about the desire tree, which is chanting of Hare Krishna Mantra and practicing pure devotional service. He did not reveal that up until the thief throwed the touchstone in the Ganges of river, in the Ganges. That means he has to leave that attachment. Likewise, we have to leave our attachment to understand the real Krishna consciousness. Because Arjuna has to leave that. Arjuna has to fight. Arjuna cannot give up his physical beauty. Likewise, we cannot withhold to our attachments in this world. We have to leave those attachments to understand the process. Otherwise, we cannot understand the process. We think that we know the process, but we don't know. How we know that? We think that we are chanting Hare Krishna. Oh, we are also preaching now. We also give classes. We think that we know Krishna consciousness, but we don't know. Why? How we know that? We think that we know Krishna consciousness, but we don't know because we are not losing, but we are not leaving our attachments. When we don't leave our attachments, what is that? So, what is our preaching? The preaching is also not helpful because we are withholding to our attachments. There's a problem, dear devotees. Please understand. It's a very interesting thing. I'll tell you something. A devotee was telling to other devotee, come, come. There is a lot of services. And then this devotee is telling, oh, Prabhu, I have to hear because I have to understand Krishna consciousness. Hey, what hearing? What hearing you'll do? What you'll understand through the process of hearing? You do service. Service is great. And this Prabhu cannot tell anything to that person. You're sharing this to me. Then I said, Prabhu, what service we will do if there is no consciousness? And consciousness comes through Shravana. If you don't hear, how you'll develop consciousness? How the heart, how do you know that what the heart is desiring? If the heart is desiring sex life, then how can you do service? On one side you do service, other side you do sense gratification. Is that correct? Is that correct service? One time Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when they were all proclaiming that, oh, he is my spiritual master, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, when he left, everyone started coming to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Mayapur and started proclaiming, no, he is my spiritual master, I'll take him, I will put him under my ashram. And somebody else came, he said that I will put his body under my ashram. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, put your hand on your heart. When was the last time you engaged in sense gratification? You touch this person's body. If you do not engage sense gratification in the last 1 year, or nobody can. Then he said, you touch this body. If you do not engage in sense gratification in last 9 months, nobody can. Or at least 6 months, nobody can. At least 3 months, nobody can. That means everyone they are engaging in sense gratification. Then Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you cannot touch this person. They are very powerful personality, speaking the truth and the facts. That's what Prabhupada is also mentioning here. What is sense gratification? Giving up our prescribed duties. What is sense gratification? Not knowing the real essence. What is sense gratification? Engaging in so many other activities other than Krishna consciousness. That means doing Krishna consciousness in our own way is also sense gratification, not through the words of Guru Sadhu Shastra. These are all sense gratification. So the devotee sharing, oh, this is very bad, very sad to hear. Because I really wanted to understand Krishna consciousness, really wanted to take up this science. But these devotees don't understand. They say that engage in service, engage in service, engage in service. What service you do if you don't have right attitude? Engage in service, engage in service. Then I said, you give this Shravana to that person also. He'll get benefited. That person will not hear because he's already a devotee. He's thinking that he's a devotee. Srila Prabhupada, when he was actually hearing from his spiritual master, Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, I couldn't understand anything what my spiritual master is telling, but I wanted to hear from him because I wanted to please that person. I wanted to please that person. I wanted to see happiness in him, in his face. When I sit in front of him, I see him happy. I wanted to give that happiness to him. That's why I go and sit in front of him. I wanted to do a service of making him happy. This is personalism, dear devotee. This is what exactly Srila Prabhupada did. I wanted to please his teacher. Because through that pleasing only Krishna is happy. This is a real prescribed duty actually. When this prescribed duty is not done in this way, then what happens? Topsy-turvy. The consciousness will be different. We'll be thinking something, we'll be doing something else. We'll be aspiring something and then we'll be connecting to something else. So this is very important. We have to check our heart, we have to check our consciousness. Oh, let's say I'm doing a service, what is my attitude? For example, I'm speaking, what is my attitude? I'm thinking that everyone should become my followers. What is my attitude? Do I really mean what I say? What am I speaking? For example, I'm speaking something. What do I really mean? For example, I say I'm surrendering. Do I really surrender before I speak that words? What is my attitude? What is my consciousness? This every person who is actually speaking, he should think about this. Person who is actually speaking, he should understand all of these things. Am I really there? Am I really there in that state to give this truth? You should understand. You should know this. Then, if given an opportunity, you should speak. Otherwise, oh, I'm also speaking. I also become a devotee. What is that? Becoming a devotee. Becoming a devotee means we should give our life. I'm not a devotee. I'm not telling that I'm a devotee. I'm not a devotee. But we should aspire for that state. Not a devotee. Should all aspire for that. Dear devotees, give this one life for the service of Guru Sadhu Shastri. How many lifetimes? There are millions of lifetimes we've been through this. Valuable human. Finally, we got this human form of life. Give this one life for the pleasure of Guru Sadhu Shastri. Then you see how Krishna consciousness is so beautiful. Then you tell the same thing to others. You also give your life to the service of Guru Sadhu Shastri. Let us be Srila Prabhupada. This is the thing. This we need to ask. For that you have to do what you have to do. We have to do what we have to do. Without following regulative principles, without following the principles nicely, preaching is also not good. We should know. We should know what you are speaking. We should know what we are doing. We should really understand. Preaching cannot be done for sense gratification. It's very important. Today in the morning we are discussing about an interesting aspect. In the spiritual world, Krishna is a very, very beautiful person. He has wonderful qualities. His devotees, they are all serving him continuously. They have no other goal, no other motive other than to please the Lord. That means if they have service, they'll do. Otherwise, they'll just be absorbed in the glories of the Lord. They'll discuss the glories of the Lord. They'll think about the Lord. They'll continuously be absorbed about the Lord. There is a service, they would jump onto it and then do that service for the pleasure of the Lord. This is the state in the spiritual world. So when the jiva comes into this material plane, the jiva out of ignorance, because Tene Brahma Hrudayadi Kavaya Muyanti Yatsure. That means this illusion in the external energy is so powerful. It's very powerful, dear doubts. The illusion in the external energy is so powerful that this illusion keeps us blinded. How this illusion keeps us blinded? It keeps us in a particular state of consciousness and shows us that we are great. It keeps us in a particular consciousness and then shows that this is what the right thing is. That means it will make us conclude to a particular thing in our life stating that this is right. Is it not something bad, dear devotee? It is. Because through this state we are not depending. Through this state we are not taking full shelter. Through this state we have our own attachments of this world. Dear devotee, why a sadhaka doesn't come or practice Krishna consciousness? Because he has attachments. Now, who is giving this attachment? Because he is associated to the material nature. The jiva is not at fault. Who said the jiva is at fault? Jiva is not at fault. Jiva is associated with the material nature. That means the jiva has this tendency. Wherever it gets associated, that is what it will take. For example, if the jiva has been kept in the spiritual plane, if the jiva doesn't establish that relationship with that source person, then the jiva is again hankering to the previous attachment which he has. That means the jiva cannot go from here to the spiritual world unless and until the jiva understands what's happening here in this world about the spiritual world. That means here through this world, he has to understand what is happening in the spiritual world. That means he has to develop a consciousness which is there in the spiritual world. That means the jiva has to come, has to move forward in his Krishna consciousness. That he is staying here, but is thinking about that. That means he should be that much connected. He should develop that deep relationship with Guru Sadhu Shastra, where he's continuously been absorbed in that state of consciousness. That means he's continuously checking his heart. Okay, devotee is coming. How is my heart reacting? Am I really happy seeing the devotee? Or my heart is envious with that devotee? If my heart is envious with the devotee, why my heart is envious with that devotee? Why is that? Is it due to an attachment? Or what kind of attachment is that? That means, am I looking for something else? What is that I'm looking for? Okay, that devotee has a bigger service, I may have a smaller service. Is that the reason of my enemy? Is that the reason of that grudge? Is that the reason of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Maha, Matsara coming through that person, through that devotee? So we need to immediately understand, Hare, he's also part and parcel of the Lord. How can I see him like that? He's an Amsha of the Lord. Mami Vamsha. Krishna is saying, Neha Vikramana Pratyavana. Actually, next sloka is that one. Swalpam. Hare, little service. Krishna is immensely pleased. But this is a disservice, right? That means if my heart is having negative feelings about that other person, this is a disservice. Wow. That means I have to address here, not there. That devotee is great. He's doing wonderful services, but my heart is not right. So what I have to do? I have to check or correct my heart to see. And actually, we should actually glorify the devotee wholeheartedly in the heart. Oh, Prabhu, you're really great. You're doing this wonderful service. Let me cooperate with you. I know I cannot cooperate now because I have another service, but if time permits, I will cooperate with you. So that we both will do service to the spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. Because we want to please them, right? That is our motive. That means what are we doing? We are checking our heart. Arjuna also checking his heart. He's finding a problem in his heart because he's thinking that is there on a selfless plan, because he's thinking that he's giving up his duty. He's giving up his duty is selfless. He's thinking that that is selfless. But actually that is sense gratification. Or Acharya Krishna is telling, for Srila Prabhupada is telling, Arjuna quitting up his duty is sense gratification because he doesn't want to fight. Because he fights, he will be in distress. Because he wanted to come out of that distress and then stay in that another state of rejecting this entire battle and giving up this kingdom. Through that, he wants to get happiness. Stating that, oh, I'm also giving up my dharma. I don't want any of these things. But you remember a few days back, we were discussing about that. How the other person is reacting with that state of consciousness. Duryodhana is actually uh, putting Arjuna down. Because Krishna is telling, Duryodhana will say, Are out of fear, Arjuna left this battle. Not out of compassion or not out of selflessness. Because they don't see that in that way. Now, Krishna is also telling what Arjuna will be seeing in the future through the lens of Duryodhana. What a beauty, this process. In the class, a devotee, a child, was birthday today. I said, you come, we'll do a song. We were singing a Sanskrit sloka for the child. And then I told after the prayer that you see, no, you know what you did now? You're praying to this child that may Lord bless this child. That means you're consciously praying to the Lord to invoke the blessing upon the child. Then I said, did you ever pray for the other person in your life? They said, no. I said, this is Vaishnavism. Praying for the well-being of the other. This is Vaishnavism. This is the qualities, right? We should tell, we should invoke, we should inject into the children. So the children should learn. What is this? Okay, well, that means, oh, we will be praying for the other children also. Wow, this is wonderful. We are devoted. If the child is really praying for the well-being of the other child, Krishna is immensely pleased with that. It's a beautiful quality. Because this is a principle which is there in the spiritual world. This is the principle of Vaishnavism. Not cuddling others, not pulling them down, not being envious to the other person, rather being gentle, prayerful mode. Even if a person is envious towards us, we should be grateful to that person, because through that person's envy, we are depending more on the Lord. And then not only that, we should actually pray for the well-being of that person. If a person is advancing in Krishna consciousness, we should say, "Oh Krishna, wonderful. See your mercy. You are empowering the soul so much. This soul is this soul is advancing so much in Krishna consciousness. My dear Lord, please, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity so that I can see in this way, in this vision, with this consciousness, seeing the well-being of the other person." This is what is Krishna consciousness. This devotee is advancing so much. Yes, great, wonderful. Appreciate that. Pray for the devotee so that he continues his progress in Krishna consciousness. Today, one devotee was telling me during the discussion after the class, he was telling, "Prabhu, I'm not in that state." What is that state? Swishma Master was revealing that in the class. What he was telling was very interesting. He was telling, what is the way to correct a particular devotee as a service? What is the best way to correct a devotee? He said, if you glorify the devotee, if the devotee is puffed up, don't correct that devotee. Glorify the devotee. If that glorification is not taking it correctly, then he will never take corrections also in his life. In a person, and especially pure souls, when they are glorifying, we should put our head down. We shouldn't have a place to keep our head, because we don't deserve we don't deserve that glorification. It's all their mercy. But if the person is not taking it like that, he will never take your corrections also. Wow, this is wonderful. That means you have to wait years after years to give him that correction. The devotee will never understand, because the devotee is already puffed up. So corrections, to give corrections individually is difficult. Then the devotee next to me was telling, "Prabhu, I'm also like that." I said, "No, you're not like that. You're a wonderful soul. You're doing great services. Please continue this service." That means we should encourage the devotee. The devotee is putting himself in a lower state. That is great, but we should encourage him. "No, no, I know. Through your humility, you're telling like that, but you're actually doing great. We should actually know what services that devotee is doing." That's how you develop relationship. You know how to develop relationships among devotees? This is the way. You have to see that good he's doing. And if there are any corrections here and there, it will be managed, because he's in the process. He's practicing Krishna consciousness very nicely. Whatever those anarthas, they will go. By the mercy of the spiritual master, they will go. We should glorify that. We should see that good in that devotee. Then appreciate that. Dear devotees, this has to be done genuinely. For this, we have to develop that consciousness, that right consciousness, right mentality. What consciousness is this? Pure devotees, they pray for the well-being of the others, even if that person is envious, even if that person has caused a lot of trouble, still we pray. Yes, yes, they pray for that person. Because if these Vaishnavas, they are not praying, then who will pray for them in this world? Nobody will pray. There is no question of praying in this world. They are lost actually. If the Vaishnavas, pure souls, they are not embracing that personality, then who will embrace? No one will embrace. Actually, that is the last hope. Vaishnava is giving us that mercy. Because through that mercy only we can see the presence of the Lord. There is no other way in this world. Because we are already lost. Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma, no doubt, definitely. But that glorification of the Paramatma, of the understanding of the Paramatma, has to be told by the pure devotee only. Vaishnava has to tell us, otherwise how can we understand? Acharyas have to give us that information, how can we understand? Otherwise, how do we know the heart of Arjuna? How do we know that why is he kept in the difficult state? How do we know that how do we know that how to come out of those difficult situations? Actually, we are all in this difficult situation, but we are not realizing that we are in a difficult state through the illusory state. This world is amazing. There are amazing things happening, but we don't realize that this world is an amazing place. Ashcharyavat kaschitenam. Everything is ashcharya, everything is amazing, amused. But we don't realize that. Oh, through ignorance. Om ajnanatimirandasya. The spiritual master will come and remove the ignorance from our consciousness. That's all. That's why we are ever grateful for those personalities in our life. We owe them a lot. Left and right. Oh, this is nothing. This is what we need to ask. That means checking our heart continuously, having right attitude, right mentality with the other person, with our family members, wife, children, everyone. For example, you have enemy, you have enmity towards your wife. I think that's a very disgusting thing. Why? Because you see your wife every day, but you have envy on that person. Who's affecting? Not the wife, you're affecting. You're affected through that consciousness, through that mentality. Now she doesn't know that you have envy on her, but you have. Hare Krishna. We have lust, greed, anger, envy, falsehood, pride, so many things. Through this lust, greed, anger, envy, falsehood, pride, we affect our children also. Through not having correct consciousness, not having right mentality towards them, by seeing them, by addressing them, by knowing their heart. All these things have to be addressed. Very, very important. Now, these things we need to understand. That's what dear Prabhupada is mentioning. That this is accepted in the Vedas. This description in the Vedas indicates that Lord glanced over Prakriti or the nature impregnated with atomic individual souls. All these individual souls are working in the material world for sense gratification under the spell of the material energy. They're thinking of being enjoyers. Everyone in this world, they're thinking that is an enjoyer. He wants to control, he wants to create. The same thing we bring that to the spiritual life. I want to be top. I want to be the master. I want to be the controller. I want to be number one. I want to be great here. I want to show myself as a good devotee. What are all this? Is all sense gratification. Even in the lines of bhakti, sense gratification. This will not happen. We should be free from all of this. That's why to become free from all of these things, we continuously work on our consciousness, we check our heart to see where we are standing, and then we move forward. Hare Krishna. We can stop here. Have another discussion. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? Couple of minutes. Any questions? Would like to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam to all devotees on the call. Thank you so very much, Prabhuji, for enlightening us with this. In my practice, I heard similar to what you're speaking of today. And I think we have to check our heart daily, because every day something will crop up to give us, or to go on the other side, or to have envy with someone, or to, to do what is not in line with Krishna consciousness. So we do have to check our heart every day, because that's the only way we can keep this in check, because the mind is so chanchal that it will think all sorts of crazy things. But by chanting and purifying our hearts, and we checking our mind um, daily, we can somehow try to overcome this. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Greatly appreciate.
Actually, by checking daily, we're actually showing our way, showing our heart to the Lord and the Acharyas that we really want this process. Because it is through mercy only one can understand or gain real Krishna consciousness. But for that, continuous absorption is very important. Are Hiranyakashipu, he did tapasya just to get some name, fame, profit, adoration. Are we are doing this to please Srila Prabhupada. We are doing this to please our spiritual master. We are doing this to please Krishna. This is far more superior than that. This is far more important than that. Name, fame, profit, adoration, what is that? Did that name from Prophet adoration stayed with him continuously? No, it did not. That person is doing tapasya. This is a little tapasya from our side. We should do that. Should do that daily hearing, daily checking, daily hearing, daily understanding, daily chanting. This is our tapasya. Hare Krishna. Yes, Amma,
Thank you,
Deepali.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so
Hare
much for
Krishna.
the message. I felt it was really needed for me. Prabhu, my question is like, when we are doing any service and we are doing along with the devotees, we see that of course there is a ego clashes and everyone thinks that everyone is right, and I have started seeing that Krishna really tests, and it's an opportunity to uh, purify, but it's really difficult to really inculcate that understanding, and really cooperate when we have started certain service for certain reasons and we are wanting results. So how to have understanding that Prabhupada wants more of cooperation than the results of the service?
Definitely. I'll discuss this more detail tomorrow because cannot be told in a minute. We'll
Yes,
discuss
Prabhu.
this in detail. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, Amma,
Thank you
Sheetal
so
Mata.
much.
Please tell.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I have if some incidents happens in the life and we try to solve it and it's solved, and later on the mind brings the same instance, though it is solved, and again I tell the mind, yeah, it is solved, and again the incidence is not clearing up in the mind. How to overcome that? As you said, okay, it has happened, we have to forget, but it's still coming over and over.
So when something is coming over and over again, we need to understand that might be happening through few ways. What is that is? And we'll also discuss this in detail tomorrow, but I'll just give a synopsis and then conclude. Amma, if the problem is repeating again and again, we need to see why that problem is repeating and what kind of problem is that. Can I solve that problem? If yes, we have to solve that problem. If no, you cannot solve that problem, then why worry? If you can't solve the problem, then why worry? First thing. If you cannot solve the problem, then why worry? Let's say if you can solve the problem, just solve it and then close out the chapter. For that you don't have to worry. Let's say you cannot solve that problem. You depend on the Lord. You depend on the Lord. Ask for mercy, ask for shelter, ask for protection, ask for patience to actually accept the problem. And see that, oh, my dear Lord, you are giving me this problem and you are showing me a way that through this problem you are giving me a conviction that you are giving me this problem directly so that I can accept this problem. That means you are having full faith and trust on me. Oh, wow, my dear Lord, I don't do anything, but still you are trusting me. I did not do anything, but you are trusting me. Wow, great. Let me accept this very nicely because you have faith in me. Because if you are giving me problems, if you are giving me problems, means you have faith on me so that I'll accept these problems and then come out of these problems. That means you depend on the Lord. And you also tell, oh, my dear Lord, this is through my past activities I'm getting this problem. Nobody is at fault through this. It's only me. We discuss about karmic reactions, right? It is about me, through me only, my dear Lord, it's coming. So let me just embrace this. This is a relationship. You develop a deep relationship with the spiritual master and the Lord through their words, through their wisdom, and through their shelter, and move on. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Amma, I will, Sheetal Mataji, I'll address this question more in detail tomorrow along with Deepali Mataji's question. And Baswati Mataji, you can ask your question. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. Om Srila Shro, please continue. Sorry, I took our call a little early because I had to drop early. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Thank you, bro. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We tried to sing the bhajan before, but the connection was not going through. So hopefully it will work now.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you now. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are singing this bhajan, O Vaishnava Thakur, to pay our obeisances to Vakreshwar Pandit, whose appearance day is today. He is a close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and used to sing and dance in the wonderful kirtan at Srivasangan. So let's sing a bhajan to worship all the Vaishnavas, written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his book Sharanagati, and it's in Bengali. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Hidase Karuna Kori. Diya Pada Chaya Sodohe Amaya, Tomara Charana Dori. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Hidase Karuna Kori. Chaya bega domi, chaya dosha sodi, chaya guna deho dase. Chaya sat sanga deho he amare, bose jeev sangera ashe. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Hidase Karuna Kori. एकाकी हमारा नहीं पाया बाला हरि नाम संकीर्तने तुमी कृपा कोरी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देहो कृष्ण नामाधाने ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा दयरा सागरा वेदा से करुणा कोरी कृष्ण से तुम्हारा कृष्ण दीते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति आछे अमी तो कंगाला कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली दाइतव पाछे पाछे ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा दया सागरा हृदय करुणा कोरी. Hare Krishna. Translation. O Venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, O ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold on to your lotus feet. Teach me to control my six passions, rectify my six faults, bestow upon me the six qualities, and offer unto me the six kinds of holy association. I do not find the strength to carry on alone the Sankirtana of the holy name of Hari. Please bless me by giving me just one drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant, running behind you, shouting, Krishna, Krishna. The six passions are those pertaining to words, the mind, anger, tongue, the stomach, and the genitals. The six faults are overeating, attachment to material things, inability to follow regulative principles, sense gratification, useless idle talk, and impure habits. The six positive qualities are enthusiasm in practicing devotional service, firm faith in devotional processes, a strong desire to attain prema bhakti, a favorable service attitude, avoidance of non devotees, and appreciation of the company of devotees. The six methods of association are to go to an assembly of devotees, to invite devotees into one's home, to discuss and hear devotional topics, to take Mahaprasada of devotees, and to offer Mahaprasada to devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share this bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur on the appearance day of great Vaishnava Vakreshwar Pandit. Now we can do Prem Dhuni prayers. Hare Krishna. Karina Mataji, would you like to please lead us in Prem Dhuni prayers today?
Yes, Boji, Hare Krishna, Dhanavatanam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for giving wonderful Vajan Boji, and thank you for Neela Govindas Boji for giving a wonderful lecture. And thank you everyone for joining today on Nurse Devam Devani.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Appreciate your service.
Thanks so much, Boji. Hare Krishna. Jam Mishamrabha Mamsa Priya Rajakachar Shishima Bhakti Sanata Sasko Samaraj Sorvar ki Jai.
Ja.
Iskamavati Fana Jaren Sorvar ki Jai.
Ja.
Jam Mishamrabha Mamsa Priya Rajakachar Shishima Bhakti Sanata Sasko Samaraj Sorvar ki Jai.
Ja.
Nand ko Vishnu ki Jai.
Ja.
Brahmacharya Last Guru ki Jai.
Ja.
Prabhu Sakoshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radha Sri Guru Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.
Ja.
Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamad Radha Gangiri Vadan ki Jai.
Ja.
Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jai.
Ja.
Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai.
Ja.
Shri Jagannath Puri ki Jai.
Ja.
Ganga Maya ki Jai.
Ja.
Yamuna Maya ki Jai.
Ja.
Tulsi Devi ki Jai.
Ja.
Bhakti Devi ki Jai.
Ja.
Shri Ram Sankirtan ki Jai.
Ja.
Samavit Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.
Ja.
Nita Gauri Pramanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bo.
All glories to Samadhavati Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Samadhavati Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Samadhavati Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Namal Mishmara Krishna Mishtaya Bhutali Shamati Bhakti Venanta Swami Dinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Bacharani Nirvichis Nivari Peshadishtarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pavanityananda Shri Tagrada Shiv Sri Gaur Bhaktivindam Mukam Kuroti Vachalam Pangalmam Gadagini Kripata Mahamande Shri Gunadaridanam Paramanand Madam Shri Krishnam Karve Gorjinara Radhakatana Krishna Krishna Bhaktayana Bhaktayana Monamaha Vanjagabur Shakra Visme Vichapitanam Pavane Bhavishna Vanmanaha Hare Krishna, everyone. Have a wonderful Krishna going to say Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Karina Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Krishna Nilaband Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Sridas Prabhuji ki jai. Krishna Nilaband Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Mataji, Bhagavati Mataji, Deepali Mataji, Namananda
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
your devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Subala Gopal Prabhuji ki jai, Ramay Pran Prabhuji ki jai, all devotees ki jai. Jai Sri Prabhu.
All devotees ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki
Ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.